You thought I was feeling you? That nigga a munch. Nigga either he ate it for lunch. Bitch on my body, I get what I want. Like, you thought I was feeling you? That nigga a munch. Nigga either he ate it for lunch. Bitch on my body, I get what I want. Like, bitch stay mad, let's keep it a beam. Know they be mad, I be on the scene. Ass too fat, can't fit in a jean. Use my stitch, but it's not what it seems.
This is us.
This is us.
First episode.
Oh
Cheers.
my god. Cheers. You think?
Okay.
How are you feeling?
I'm quite nervous.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like, it's because of the camera. The
Yeah,
camera is a bit
it does
intimidating. The camera is a bit intimidating. And it's like, I feel like I'm kind of on radio. You know what I mean? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling nervous, but like really excited
Yeah.
because I've been wanting to do something of this sort. So I'm happy that I get to do it with you. Like,
Yeah.
and we literally thought about this last night, and we woke up today. We're like, yeah,
And we're like, it's
starting.
happening.
Like, it has to happen.
And that's just how we are, though.
yeah,
Like, we're
very spontaneous.
Yeah, and like
Although planned though.
planned separately, and then
then-
like our visions aligned. So we're like,
You're like, yeah.
why not? You know? Yeah, this is exciting.
Very exciting.
A bit of a conversation.
So, this will be our podcast. You want to do an introduction?
Oh, about me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Refile Dingake. What else should I say? What about me? Interests,
Yeah.
hobbies, icebreaker.
Yeah.
2 truths and a lie. No.
No.
Those are the usual icebreakers, though. Imagine if I'm like, these are 2 truths and a lie. Comment down below the lie.
Which one you think is the lie? And they're like, we don't know you. Like,
Okay.
we just arrived.
We just
We
arrived.
just arrived.
Okay, my name is Refile Dingake. I am 21 years old, turning 22 this year. And I don't know if I should give my CV version, because if I was writing a CV, I'd be like, oh, I'm an LLB graduate from the University of Pretoria. But I feel like that's not the vibe.
Yeah, that's
You
not
know,
the vibe. But
The
it
vibe.
is what it is.
Yeah,
though.
so
a
that's
big
just
deal.
who I am. I'm just here. That's me. I honestly don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Okay, you go with the intro.
Well, hi guys. My name is Katlaho Dingake. We are sisters. You can call me Kat. You can call me Kat. I am 24, turning 25 this year in September. Libra, the best sign out there.
I'll give it to you because I'm a Libra rising. So
Okay, thank you. At least you know what it is. Yeah, and I'm currently a student at Wits doing my law degree. It's my second degree. My first degree was from UCT, politics and economics, and now I'm in Joburg, and I love it. Like, yeah, it's really great.
I actually love it. When you're like, we're sisters, the first thing that came to my mind was, because we are sisters, we stand together, ayy, we make up one big family, though we don't look the same.
Apparently, we do though.
But we do look the same. I was
Yeah.
actually going to start and be like, okay, we're twins. Actually, I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. Remember at the shops the other day?
Yeah, and I'm like, since
No.
when do we
Honestly, lean into it, you know? Because people ask all the time. so
like
we
all
might
our
as well
lives,
be.
guys, we've been asked if we're twins. And my dad would be like, yeah, like with his chest, he was so quick and so happy to be like, yeah, they're twins. How did you know? So it was something that we grew up like, where it was like a bit annoying when people would ask, and now it's completely the opposite. Like, we embrace it, and we see some of the similarities. Still think we look very different, but like,
Yeah.
I think it's features, like similar features.
Yeah. And I think people are either like, oh my gosh, you guys are crazy identical.
Or they're like, "You look nothing
you
alike."
guys don't even look like siblings. So it's like,
Which is like, then where are
Which
we?
one
Like,
is
what's
it,
the
though?
story?
which one is it?
Which one is it? So, yeah, we
Anyway.
decided to start this little podcast because we have really amazing conversations. I mean, obviously, a lot of podcasts start like that, right? People are like, damn, we should have a
Yeah.
podcast. But I don't know. I feel like we have things to say.
We do.
And I feel like a lot of it is very relatable. Some of it is just literal conversation for entertainment or like to get you thinking. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to see where it goes.
I'm also really excited. Yeah. I don't know. Should we hop into the
Yeah, let's hop into today's topic.
episode?
So today's topic, you wanna say? What should I say?
You can say.
Okay, so today's topic has to do with our relationship with consistency, or like in general, people's relationship with consistency. But yeah, applying it to our lives.
Yeah. I feel like this consistency is obviously in many different areas of your life. But when you mentioned the topic to me, the first thing I thought about, remember yesterday we were listening to the Chrissy Chella podcast, and she was talking about the difference between motivation and consistency, right? So she was saying that in her head, like she almost personifies them. For her, motivation is like this sassy diva that like comes and goes. You know what I mean? Like you can never really gauge whether you're gonna be feeling motivated or not.
Yeah.
And then she sees consistency as like this little humble person where it's like, okay, you know what, as long as I show up. I feel like consistency is about showing up. The effort won't be the same all the time. So let's say if we apply it to like studying, you're not going to be, when you're motivated, have you ever had those days where you can literally sit down at the desk and you can
Work for
study,
hours,
like you're
yeah.
working for hours? Then the next day you
It's
can't
like
even
complete
bring
opposite,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's more like motivation.
Yeah.
But then when you're consistent, it's like, okay, you can wake up one day and be like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then the next day you may feel like you don't want to do it, but you know you just have to show up.
Yeah.
So I love that whole comparison of saying like consistency is about showing up.
Yeah, and I feel like I like the analogy of consistency having like a shy personality, because I feel like it's that thing where it's not loud and proud, like it's not there, so it's hard to have.
Yeah.
It's hard to attain, but like once you get into it, it's like very present, you know. So I feel like personally, my relationship with consistency is a bit. It really depends on what I'm doing. And I know that it exists because, like, for example, with the gym, like when I really get back into the gym, I'm very consistent with it. I show up every day without a doubt. Like, there's no thought in my mind, it's automatic. And I've seen the results of being consistent. But then there'll be something like content creation that I know I want to do, but that I'm not great at being consistent with. But sometimes I wonder if it's in my planning or lack thereof. Because I feel like I've learned, for example, with my food page, I have a food page which is not active right now, but hopefully I'll get back to that. But yeah, with my food page, for example, I realized the more that I'd post, I enjoyed posting a lot. I enjoyed the process of creating the content, writing out the recipes, everything. But then I don't think my planning was efficient, which made being consistent hard. Because I would create content and post it the day that I created it. And then I learned about like creating content in like batch creating content.
Yeah.
And I just haven't applied that to that. So I'm hoping that when I do get back into the food page, I'll be able to plan better for like what recipes I want to share, batch creating that content and posting like ahead of time or
Yeah.
behind time. Like it's like posting recipes now that I made a month ago.
Yeah.
So consistently being like one step ahead
Yeah.
or two steps ahead, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, my relationship with consistency is very inconsistent, I'd say.
I feel like with consistency, I think the foundation of consistency, like you're saying, it's planning and prioritization. I feel like if something is a priority for you, you're like forced to put it in your schedule. Therefore, you're consistent with it. So I think before, like, you're like, oh, I need to be, because also I think sometimes we tend to be like, oh, I want to be consistent about eating healthy, going to the gym, study. You know, like we have a whole list,
of
but I
stuff.
think sometimes you just need to sit down and be like, okay, what am I prioritizing? Not that you can't do everything at once, but you need to like say, what am I prioritizing? What is the thing that no matter how my day goes, I have to fit it in because it's just that important to me. You know what I mean? But yeah, in terms of my relationship with consistency, I think I've been quite consistent in some areas of my life, and then in other areas, not that they're not a priority for me. I don't know what it is, but like in one moment, I can be really consistent with one thing, but then something else is lagging behind. You know what I mean? I've never been consistent with everything that I
Everything at
want to be
once.
consistent
Yeah, I
with.
get
You know what
that.
I mean? And that's why I think it comes down to like value and your why. So, for example, last year I was fully in my gym era. Okay, you were also saying last year
Yeah.
it
Ooh,
was like we were
peak,
gym boys.
peak.
So
But
back
I
then,
also, sorry, not to interrupt, but I don't want to speak in past tense because
oh yeah,
we are getting back to it
yeah,
consistently.
yeah.
Yeah. Speaking
So
life.
back then, it was, I don't know. I think gym was a priority for me. I had my why. Like I was like, oh, this is for my health, my fitness. You know what I mean? This is important. At the time, I was seeing a lot of content about old people. You know those street interviews that they do, and it's like, what's one thing you regret in your life? And they're like, I regret not taking my health seriously. You know,
Yeah.
like I'd see that and I'd be like, damn, like I'm at that age they wish they were at. So I
Yeah.
need to do something different. So I was really in that era. But then also, like, certain things were falling behind. So let's say I was consistent with the gym, but like maybe how I'd eat wasn't like aligning, or you know, like when I'm
Something
focusing on
had
one
to
thing, something
had to
takes the
suffer.
back seat,
Yeah.
you know. So that's my relationship with consistency. But I do think I'm kind of good at focusing on something.
Yeah.
I'm not good at juggling,
I
but I
agree.
can focus
You're
on
really good at
something.
focusing at like on stuff.
Yeah.
And when I think about it, like it's okay though for you to be good at one thing at a time because I think that's where you get to perfect a skill or perfect a habit or a hobby because like obviously dividing your attention generally everything will just like be done to a mediocre standard or level or quality. Whereas if you focus on one thing at a time, like give everything its time, you could make those like extraordinary, like
Yeah.
each one. And once you complete that one, move on to the next. But it's all easier said than done.
Jack of all trades, master of none type
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
If you try like
Ooh, yeah.
master everything, you'll just be mediocre at all
You'll
of
have
it.
nothing. Yeah.
But also the thing is things aren't linear. So it's not like, oh, if I'm focusing on gym, I'll get to a place where my gym is like peak and then I can carry something else. You know what I mean? Like maybe my gym will like
It'll take a back seat, but it'll
Yeah.
have had its time to shine where it's like at a point where it's being maintained at a good level. I
Yeah.
think it's not you're not prioritizing it as much anymore, or it's not like something where you're focusing on still learning more about it. But because you've taken the time to learn about it, those things come like naturally. I think.
Yeah. I also think with consistency comes discipline.
Oh, for sure.
You know, I actually hate the word discipline.
Why?
I actually hate it because it makes me feel like I'm in the army, I'm in the military. I have to like, I don't know. Do you get what I mean?
No, I get
Like when
what you
people are like, you have to have discipline. It's not fun. It doesn't feel fun.
It feels shaming.
Yeah, it feels shaming. It feels so restrictive. It feels like I have to blindly, even because I think I used to think I was such a head over heart type of person, but I realized that I really do lead with my emotions more than I thought. So if something doesn't feel good, I really don't want to do it, and it takes so much out of me to do something that doesn't feel good. And that's scary because a lot of the things that matter in your life may not feel good in the moment. You know what I mean? So, for example, when we keep on saying gym, but just when you're in the gym, sometimes you really don't want to be there, but
Yeah.
it's such a good thing for you.
Yeah.
Also, let's say studying sucks. Like
Yeah.
it actually sucks, but
Yeah.
it's important. Or even if we're talking about more spiritual things, let's say we were talking about meditation. Meditation is hard, but like
It is.
getting there,
But
like
you know that the benefits
yeah,
are like
the benefits
worth it.
are really worth it. So that's what I'm saying. With consistency comes like discipline, but like discipline feels so like hectic. Like it
Yeah.
feels so like restrictive.
What would we call it though? Like if we were to find a safer word for discipline.
You know what I found?
Wait,
I'm so glad
I can't
you
believe you
asked.
thought about this.
I thought about this.
This
Katie,
is so typical.
Katie, I don't know. That's why I say, dude, we have like the same. I don't know. We're like two halves of a whole, or like
Yeah.
yin and yang more, because we are quite like different.
Different as well, yeah.
But Katie has a habit of asking me questions that I've been pondering, like that have been in my mind.
like I'll ask her and she'll be like, I'm so,
So
glad you asked me
asked.
because I actually thought about this the other day.
I actually think, yeah. So I'm actually so glad you asked.
Yeah.
Because I have been thinking about what could I use instead of discipline? Like what could be my word, you know? And you know what I thought of? It's so beautiful. Devotion.
Ooh,
Because I
love
am devoted
that.
to giving
Oh, I
myself the
love
life that I
that.
want.
Yeah.
So in my devotion comes these practices. I do it because I'm devoted to myself. It's not because I'm blindly in the military, discipline.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you love that?
I love that. Oh my gosh. Because it's like the same sort of meaning,
Yeah.
but much softer
yeah.
and like kinder
It's so kind.
and gentle.
It's so so much love.
Yeah.
It comes from a place of love and softness,
Yeah.
So yeah, I would prefer the word devotion.
I like that. I'm taking that.
Yeah, you can have it.
Thanks.
I'm giving it to you for free, 99.
Yeah. So we also felt that this topic would be great as the first video podcast that we take out because obviously in doing this we're going to be trying to be consistent. We're going to be trying to be devoted to the podcast.
Devoted to the
See?
cause.
Devoted to
boy.
the cause. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else that you'd like to say on the topic? Or any questions you might have?
I think I also wanted us to go a bit more into the consistency not being linear. Because I think people have, especially like if you think about it in terms of New Year's resolutions, people think it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
Either you're consistent or you might as well,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it doesn't have to be.
I think it's that like being that stringent on yourself actually leads to you being more inconsistent. Because you feel like it's like all or nothing. You feel like you don't give yourself the grace to like fall and get back up again. So I feel like people need to give themselves grace. It's okay, like Fifi's saying, it's not a linear journey. You're gonna mess up many times before you perfect it, before you get it. I think that's also why I don't know, I'm still trying to figure this out, but things like New Year's resolutions. At some point I changed from like I stopped doing New Year's resolutions on like New Year's Day. I started doing them on my birthday, where it's like, okay, I'm entering a new chapter, a new year. So this is my new year. So this is where I am setting new goals for the next 12 months. But even then, I'm not sure how I feel about that because I like the idea of setting goals and stuff, but I feel like again, motivation comes in when you're setting goals and you have all your dreams, you're writing them down, you're excited, you're hyped. And then it kind of all goes away after writing things down. I don't know what you think about that. Like, you kind of feel like you can wake up the next day and have that devotion,
Yeah,
that discipline. You feel like, and it doesn't happen overnight.
it doesn't.
It
But-
doesn't happen overnight.
But I think what you said about grace is so important. Like, you need to allow yourself grace, and you need to also be very compassionate. You know what I mean? Like, just be gentle with yourself. Honestly, be gentle, because at the end of the day, we're all human. So how you're saying, like, maybe you need like that momentum to get going, like when you set goals on your birthday or whatever. Also,
don't rely on it.
don't rely on it. That's the whole thing about like consistency versus like relying on motivation. Motivation is so fleeting.
So fleeting.
So fleeting. You can't quite get a grip on it. It's not reliable.
It's sporadic. It comes up at any moment.
She's not reliable.
Any moment. You'll be in
motivation?
bed. You'll be like, yeah, tomorrow I'm waking up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. comes. Where's motivation?
Where is she?
Where is she?
She was supposed
She's
to
gone.
show
You were
up.
supposed to be here.
Like,
You
it's
were
like,
supposed to
girl,
be here.
You promised you'd
Like
be
that.
here. She's really not reliable. That hand. Motivation is not reliable.
Yeah.
Consistency will always be there.
Yeah.
Like, she'll just be there and be like, dude, I know you're tired.
Just pick me today.
Just like, let's just go.
you won't
know what I
regret
mean?
it.
And even if you don't do, even if you're not at 100% capacity, you're not working at your highest, efficiency rate, you showed up.
Yeah.
Because why? You're devoted to yourself.
Yeah.
And that counts for something. It really, showing up, guys, it counts
It
for
counts
something.
for so much.
It counts for something.
Like, you'll never feel horrible for showing up. Even if you struggled to show up, you'll always feel good afterwards.
And also, showing up builds so much confidence.
So much.
Because it's like, I can rely on myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like that trust in yourself.
In yourself. Like,
I always call it I call it like credit scores. I always say that people have credit scores not just in financial institutions, like even with yourself. Your credit score with
Your credit
yourself must be
score.
good, because then it'll be good with other people, and also other people. If you do one thing that's like unreliable, your credit score is bad vibes.
dude, that credit score thing, I love
It
that.
makes sense,
It
right?
makes so much sense, because it's like, if I have a low credit score with myself, what makes me think I'm gonna give myself like a certain chance? You know what I mean? Or with someone else, where it's like, dude, you have a low credit score, so how
Yeah,
can I
like how
trust
can I
you?
trust
It's
you?
like the bank. They
Like
won't give
you
a
keep
loan with
showing
a low
me.
credit
Exactly. So
score.
now why must I?
Yeah, and you don't want a low credit score with
You
yourself.
don't.
Because then your confidence will be low. You can't even trust yourself. So how are you going to trust others? You know what I mean? Like,
You can't show up for yourself. So how are you
you're
gonna
gonna
show up for others?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Credit score.
credit score for real.
Another term.
Another term.
Dropping gems.
Devotion, credit score.
Devotion, credit score, keywords. If you're taking anything away from this.
Yeah. I think I have one more thing to say. So, you know how I was saying, like, I'm the type of person that if something doesn't feel good, it doesn't, like, it's so hard for me to show up, because I don't know if it comes with the whole, maybe I self-prioritize too close to the sun, that maybe sometimes it's detrimental. You know what I mean? But because I've noticed it in myself, where it's like, I'm not into discomfort. Like, I need to feel, something needs to feel good for me to want to do it. I've been trying to take those tasks that usually don't feel good, studying, gym, maybe eating healthy, maybe all those things, and finding a way to make it feel good, because I know that's the only way I'm
That
going to
you'll-
do
yeah.
it. So, like the other day when I decided to take a walk, I knew I was not going to the gym, babe. That day, I couldn't even,
This
like,
was yesterday.
oh, yesterday. Why is our
You're
sense of
talking
time
like it
so
was like,
warped
yeah,
lately?
yeah.
We are very
It's a bit.
yeah. Okay, but yesterday I knew I was not heading to the gym. It was just not going to happen. I wasn't feeling it, but I was like, "Girl, you've sat yesterday." Remember, I was sitting on this couch doing work the whole day. I'm like, dude, you literally haven't taken like 3 steps today. You need to do something for yourself. Like, you need to move a little bit. You don't have to go lift the heaviest weights, but you need to move. So I'm like, the least I can do is go for a walk. How do I make that also? Because also going for a walk, sometimes it's honestly a jarring task. Like, it doesn't, as much as it's not as hard as going to the gym and lifting weights, but like, it's still like, yo, you're telling me I have to leave.
Yeah.
I just told myself, I'm gonna go out. I'll be wearing my sweats, I'll be wearing my Crocs, but I'm still gonna be getting that movement in. I'm gonna still be comfortable, but get that movement in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one of the ways I make like exercise
Fun.
feel better, because most people are like, oh, may have that mindset of, oh, I have to be doing this, or I might as well not do anything. But it shows that even the little things count.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do the same thing. I feel like one thing that makes me look forward to going to the gym is knowing that I can listen to music, because I love music so much. Like, I love listening to music and just vibing out. But, like, you don't always, like, when you think about it, you don't get the chance to do that much throughout the day. Because, like, if it's not the gym, it'll be maybe when I'm showering, which is like 20-30 minutes. So it's not a long time of music. And then when you're studying, if you're actually studying, reading, and taking in information, I personally can't listen to music while I'm doing that. I can only listen to music if I'm making notes, because I'm not trying to absorb anything. So, yeah, knowing that I get to listen to music gets me really hyped for the gym. And that's for when I'm not seeing results yet, because you can't be results driven as well. So obviously, after a few months of consistency, you start to see the changes. Then that also motivates you further. But again, motivation is fleeting.
Yeah.
Music is there every day. And it's just that moment where I know I have an hour to an hour and a half where I'm going to listen to that new album, or I'm going to
Yeah.
listen to whichever artist that I'm really feeling like listening to in that moment. And like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely important to add those little things that make it
feel
pleasant.
good. Yeah. Another way, like for studying, for example, I just search on YouTube romanticizing studying playlist. And I literally feel like, especially I guess with law, I'm always like, you know, Oxford, whatever, something that makes you feel like, oh my gosh, like I am such a book hun. Like,
Yeah.
here I am, you know, studying, you know, that kind of feeling. So anything to help me romanticize it a little bit, make it feel good. Yeah. So I'm looking to do that in other tasks, like, I don't know, any other thing that I want to do better at. I'm trying to work on making it feel good so that I can actually
Get it done.
Yeah.
Those are a few tips and tricks.
Yeah. That's a good tip and trick.
If you're trying to work on your relationship with consistency. And yeah, key takeaways, maybe finding key takeaways would be kind of softening certain terms if you feel that they're a bit not triggering, because I don't want to misuse that word, but if you feel that certain words, like Fifi was saying, make it hard to do certain things because they just seem so rigid or so like, things like changing discipline to devotion, softening it for yourself. Definitely do what you need to make it happen for you.
Yeah.
Another takeaway?
Another takeaway is the whole thing of prioritization that we were saying. Because also sometimes, like, you really need to find the root of things. Like, where do I start with consistency? And I feel like the whole thing of the foundation, where you should start, is to figure out your priorities and plan accordingly. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
You just have to.
I just
Flipping
have
another-
gems today. I'm just spitting.
That
Okay.
one was a bit of a flit.
Okay. Whatever. We've heard it before.
And then yeah, like
Yeah.
many times. And then another takeaway, I don't know, I think it's the last takeaway, but is to find ways to make these tasks pleasant. Like find something that'll bring joy in doing it, something that you'll look forward to, even if you're not looking forward to doing the actual studying or the actual workout. Just try find your thing that'll make it more bearable.
Make it feel good, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening
Yeah.
to episode 1 of our podcast.
Yeah. This is
Why
exciting.
did I say it like that?
You're overthinking.
No, I feel like I meant to say podcast because I say
Podcast.
podcast. Podcast. Thanks.
Podcast. It's not because all the podcasts you listen to are American. or
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
something. Thank you so
and
much.
you will hear us or see us in the
Okay.
next episode.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
You thought I was feeling you?
We did that.
That nigga a
did
munch.
that.
Nigga eat it, he ate it for lunch. Bitch on my body, I get what I want. Like, you thought I was feeling you? That nigga a munch. Nigga eat it, he ate it for lunch. Bitch on my body, I get what I want. Like, bitch stay mad, let's keep it a beam. Know they be mad, I be on the scene. Ass too fat, can't fit in a jean. Use my stitch, but it's